Today I wanted to discuss the ever-growing price of games nowadays. I'm very curious about what you guys think, so please, if you have some interesting thoughts, share them in the comments, in Discord or anywhere else. And without further ado, let's get into it. I will just warn you though, that there can be and probably will be exceptions to everything that I will be saying further on. But with that out of the way, let's just imagine that you made a video game. A game. It's a game, and the game is successful. It's a big title, a genre-defining game. Everybody in the world have probably heard of it. And then, probably having that success, you would ideally, in the most cases, I would assume, want to create a second game. And here's the thing that, from a perspective of a game developer, you can always get, and it adds up a pressure. The pressure of people expecting it to be better than a previous game. And even for me, I'm a gamer. I've been playing video games since I was 5-year-old. And to fulfill that expectation, usually you would need a better set of tools. Like, for example, your game could use a better engine, some upgrades, more people in your team so you can do more things and deliver them faster. And besides that, what happens also is that if you use the better tool, and we especially see it with the rise of Unreal Engine 5 on the market, now suddenly games require customers, or just, well, gamers at this point, to have a higher tech to run the game. You need a better PC, a better console, a better anything and everything. And God forbid some specific system, like for example, maybe VR. VR is bloody expensive. It's you're basically buying another PC for yourself. And now you end at the point where you still want to fulfill that expectation, you still want to make the game better, you maybe hired more people, or maybe use different tools that you also need to, you need to purchase the licenses and everything. It's not for free unless you develop it yourself, but then if you develop it yourself, what happens then? You spend time developing that, and time is money, always. And basically, this all leads to one thing, one statement. To make a better game, you need a bigger budget. And to cover for that budget, well, I've depicted two paths that you could potentially kinda take. And the first one will be the sell more path, which is essentially you aim to, well, sell more copies of your product, your video game, so you can receive more money so you can keep your company growing even further. But then here's the question, if you take that path, is your game general enough, and by that I mean that it's not a niche, to attract enough players? Because there are quite a few of a very good game. They are stunning, but they're just like such a niche projects that a majority of player base doesn't really care about. A majority of gamers wouldn't purchase your product not because it's bad, but because they are simply not interested in it. And then there are other games that might be general enough, everything's perfect, but then is your marketing getting you to your setup goal? Maybe nobody even knows that your game is out there. And by marketing, I mean whatever marketing strategy you're using can be literally anything. Some companies, and we have a great example of Valve, they don't really do much to advertise their games. They're just out there. Everybody knows that, hey, there's a Half-Life 3 releasing, you should totally play it. And, it's sort of also a marketing strategy by just, you just giving information out there that, hey guys, we released the game, you can play it now, and it'll spread like a wildfire. But then even if you manage to do everything perfectly, you have a second new game, everybody's happy about it, and it just works for you. What do you do for the next game? If you take the sell more copies path, will you be able to upbeat the score? People will once more be expecting more from your game. They can't just expect to play the same game every year. Right, Call of Duty? Right, FIFA? We can't just play the same game, essentially, and just, buy it again and again. Totally that's not gonna happen, right? Right? But not the point. Once again, this is more of an exception to the rules rather than what's usually happening to the games like that. As I mentioned before, people will always be expecting, oh, this is a new part of the game, so it's supposed to be better, the graphics should be better, the mechanics should be more polished, there should be more characters in the game, more story, more lore, more this, more that, more cinematics, more side content for it, just, yeah, more everything. And how do you exactly keep up with that more of everything. It's bloody hard. And when you take that path, it essentially just kind of forces you to, well, make the price bigger. Because you can't just expect to sell more copies of your product and expect to be on the market. And even if you, like, imagine if you sold exact the same amount of copies, or even like slightly more, the cost of producing a new product would probably be way bigger than the previous one. And it's all because, well, gamers expect a way better game. And I don't blame anybody for that. I'm one of you. I also expect, like, you know, I've been waiting for freaking Stalker 2 for 13 freaking years. Or 14? I don't remember how much exactly that was, but it was a long bloody time. And let's even take the example of a Stalker. Back in the day, the game used to cost way less than it, well, costs now. And like I mentioned, not only that I have to purchase the game, I have to have a proper PC that can even run the game, because, oh, well, now it uses Unreal Engine 5, and whoop-de-frickin-do, my RTX 2060 Super is not really there to run it at the appropriate frames. But okay, well, it's just the sell more kind of path, but I've already mentioned the second one that you can take is, well, if you cannot just every time sell more copies, well, let's just up the price. And this is one of the biggest problems that we see on the market right now. Almost every single game costs like around 50 plus bucks, and I'm not even sure if it's 50. It's gotta be more, right? People are trying to push it all over the place, like they go up to 100. And can a regular gamer just casually spend cash on it? And then now, besides just the game itself costing more, you also have to buy a better PC that also costs even more than it used to freaking cost back in the day. I'm not gonna say like, oh well, in the 90s we used to run games on the little Playboy. Or we played games on Windows 95 and it ran perfectly with my 2 megabytes of RAM. You know what, actually, I'm not gonna name any numbers because I just don't remember, but you get the idea. But basically the logic here is, well, if we need to develop a bigger, better game that everyone will be happy about, let's just make it cost more, because it'll cover all the costs that we waste on all these beautiful new cinematics, all these beautiful new mechanics, all these models, textures, etc, etc. And then, after I mention all of that, I have a question. Is your game affordable enough? Can a casual regular gamer even buy it to enjoy it? And then, even if they can buy it, now we have a second question that honestly I would ask a lot of new games from big studios to answer. That question would be, does your game represent cost-quality equilibrium? Okay, you've managed to make a new game. You think for yourself that, oh well, this game is better and it looks better. Yeah, I think that, so now I'm just gonna up the price. But is it actually representing the cost-quality equilibrium? That's a great freaking question. Back in the day, we used to have games that obviously weren't perfect. They didn't have like realistic, hyper-realistic graphics like some marketing strategists are stuffing into us right now. Oh, hey guys, yeah, this new game that we're developing, it's gonna have stunning, realistic graphics like you've never seen before, and it's totally not in every other game that also uses Unreal Engine 5 or something similar. No. We didn't have that. I remember playing through old Call of Duties. I remember playing Warcraft 3. I remember playing bloody RTSs like Cossacks, like Blitzkrieg, that... Alright, those titles you probably never even heard of, but not the point. The point is that those games, they represented cost quality to me. I was absolutely happy with the games I bought. But right now, some of the games, they just like... I don't even know how to describe it. You are a gamer, and I'm pretty sure from the bottom of my heart, I can't push it, I can't say it with words, but you do know what I'm talking about, and you can understand me. Maybe you'll be actually able to, you know, say it better than I do in the comments down below. You know, just... maybe. But then if suddenly, even if your game now, once again, represents the cost-quality equilibrium, it's affordable for the majority of your player base, what do you do for the next game? How's it gonna be better? Is it even possible to make this game better? Do you just switch a title and make something completely new? What do you even do? I feel like those struggles of the game developers, they are very important. And in this, I want to say dire times, but nah, that'll be too dramatic, come on. But in these dire times, we as gamers can unite and tell the game developers what we truly want. And the thing is, gamers never truly know what the hell do they want. But that's a topic for yet another discussion. So, I mumbled for quite some time now. Let me know what you think. Go on the Discord, write it in the comments down below or anywhere else. If you like discussing that with me here, if you like what I do, maybe subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another one. Cheers!